Welcome to the Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
All right, it's 11:05. Welcome to the Lock Shop, the day after the Super Bowl. And what a Super Bowl it wasn't, unless you do like good defense. And then you would have loved watching the Seahawks defense. If you had a series of bets based on overs and things like that, a little bit of a tough one to swallow yesterday. But we'll get into that. Huss is going to be fired up because he hit Goddard up to win the waste management. So I know he's going to come in. He's going to come in hot. The old Huss Horowitz will probably get that when he hops on. If you are watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. Shout out to all the Lock Shoppers who popped out to the Super Bowl party at Selly's last night. That was a pretty good time. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999 as well. Of course, the Lock Shop and all of Edmonton Sports Talk is brought to you by Play Alberta. We had over 20 specials, I think, locked and loaded on the EST specials page. We were a Cooper Cup touchdown away from cashing that D-Gen den at a big number. My God. Really wanted that one last night. We've got one up so far, starting to reload here. A little EST early bird bet. Pelicans, Bulls, and Warriors all the win tonight at plus 215. You should have Jay's play of the day coming up a little bit later on in there as well. And like I said, you can text us anytime. What was your best win yesterday? What was your most painful loss yesterday? I hit the one that kind of saved my day yesterday was Reed's confidence play, which was Seahawks minus 6.5, Kenneth Walker 70 plus, and I think what was it, Cooper Cup. Anyway, we cashed that one. That was a good one. That one kind of got me back to I don't know. I managed to recoup about 80% of what I put out there yesterday. So considering the way that game went, I was actually feeling pretty fortunate that I didn't take a bigger hit. All right, let's bring in Huss, Mr. Goddard lover himself. Well done, good sir. Well done. What a way to get rolling early in the golf season.
You know, I'm all stressing going into the start of the Super Bowl. I've got a million prop bets. We did hit the over 20. Nice call on your part. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Hideki's there. All of a sudden, he put it in the drink. And I'm like, oh, wouldn't this be something for him to blow it? And then it was Goddard that got in there. And I'm like, this is actually even better. Goddard's 40-1. Hideki's 25-1. Get wet, Decky. Get wet. So heck of a nice way to go into the Super Bowl. And then the game was pretty much exactly as rolled out. Seattle, way better in every aspect. And, I mean, what was it, 2 weeks ago we said, like, I kind of have a feeling that this NFC Championship game is the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Rams Seahawks? It was.
It was.
And yesterday was, I mean, it was certainly a dud as far as Super Bowls go.
Yeah, 4 field goals through 3 quarters is not one that you really want to write home about.
Yeah, I mean, we had to wait. Was it fourth quarter that Varner finally got in?
Yeah, it was 12-0 after 3 quarters, man.
Well, listen, all the Pats fans that decided they were Pats fans again for the first time in 5 years and went and grabbed their Brady jersey that they hadn't looked at. I mean, it was a great run. Drake May, exciting young quarterback, but everything that we'd been picking holes in this team all along was legitimate. They hadn't really been tested. They had one signature win of the regular season, and that was on the road in Buffalo earlier in the year. And then other than that, I mean, they lost to the Bills at home in the rematch. There's nobody good in their division. They were playing a schedule where they were getting cupcakes week after week after week. And listen, I mean, the one thing that I said last week that I stand by and was a big reason why I had the alt spread and I thought Seattle would win big is that it was true. They were the first team to get by 3 top 5 defenses on their way to the Super Bowl. Well, if you remember those 3 playoff games, their offense did almost nothing.
Did nothing.
And guess what? They had another top 5 defense yesterday, and their offense did almost nothing. So, Seattle, listen, we can talk about the Patriots, but this Seattle team, I mean, they don't have a hot, fancy name like the Legion of Boom or whatever, but my God, that defense.
Like 10 minutes into the game, man, you're like, I'm not sure New England's going to score. You know, like it did not take long to realize that Patriots had nothing going offensively. Like they couldn't do it. Like Drake May really couldn't even create much with his legs. Like they did an excellent job getting all over him, like absolutely all over him. It was, they didn't allow him to establish anything on the run. I mean, I think Stevenson only had 7 carries or something in that game. And, you know, the game was a dud unless you like watching, you know, outstanding defense by one team. And that's what the Seahawks laid out yesterday. Like if you're a defensive coordinator, you're probably watching that game just being like, oh my God, the Seahawks defense is incredible. and it was. I mean, it was impressive, man. Very impressive.
Well, to be honest, I thought that the New England defense played their asses off.
Well, they hung in there. I mean, they kept them out of the end zone until the fourth quarter as well. Dude, they did a little bit of bending and allowing these field goals, but didn't necessarily break. And as soon as they did, it was lights out, game over. Like
their secondary was so aggressive too early on in the game. I mean, like say what you will about what Seattle did and didn't do offensively. I mean, they got into an area where they just simply didn't need to make any mistakes. So, I mean, they didn't have to push the ball down the field. They knew that their defense had this game totally. I mean, basically when they got that third field goal to go up 9 points, it was like, okay, don't throw a pick 6. Don't put the ball on the carpet, and you should be good. But early on in that game, I thought that the Patriots defense came out like in the first quarter and were incredibly aggressive. I mean, Sam Darnold had a couple throws, including, I think, the first one to Cooper Kupp, where, I mean, we're not talking about a very big window to get that ball in, and credit to Kupp to do it. But there was also a couple ones where it got flipped, went up in the air. I mean, you could have had a turnover early on just because of how relentless they were and how close they were with the pressure. And I mean, Christian Gonzalez is one of the best players on the field last night. I mean, if he doesn't,
he made some phenomenal plays, man.
2 or 3 plays, we're talking about an absolute embarrassing scoreline because they get in early. So, I mean, Drake May, I don't know whether, see, and this is the question now. Okay, so Patriots had this great run to the Super Bowl. May is the second youngest quarterback of all time. Well, you know who the other guy was? The youngest quarterback of all time? It was Dan Marino.
Oh, no.
He went to the Super Bowl in his rookie season and never got back there again.
Well, that's what I saw today. Quarterbacks in their, like Drake May, I don't know how many other there were, but a quarterback who made the Super Bowl in his second year has never gotten back there again. So we'll see. Like I would assume New England's probably fighting for a playoff spot next year, right? I don't want to take away anything that they did, but they're going to have a much more difficult schedule. I would think they're probably, fighting for a playoff spot somewhere next year. And Sam Darnold, I mean, what can you say about the story of Sam Darnold? So I asked Mike Tenier this morning. He's on our show. I said, like, what are we talking about 5 years from now with Sam Darnold? Right? He's on a 3-year deal with Seattle. It is structured that they could leave if they wanted, which I understand what they were thinking when they signed him to it. They can't, I'm reading about his contract right now, and it says the deal is structured that the Seahawks could part ways with Darnold after one season. So I could see why they put that in there when they brought him in, right? If it doesn't work, we can get out of him. But they're going to have him locked up for 2 more years. He got a 3-year, $100 million deal this past offseason. And then, I like after that, are we looking at an even bigger deal for Sam Darnold? And 5 years from now, we're sitting there going, Sam Darnold's made $200 million over the last 5 years, and he's got a Super Bowl, and he's become a very consistent starting quarterback around the league now. Is that where this is headed now?
Well, we're already there. I mean, he's gone back-to-back 14-win seasons.
Yeah.
He just won the Super Bowl.
So, yeah, I guess he has established himself. I guess we're done with, like, this is it now for Sam Darnold. Like, Sam Darnold's the real deal, top 12 quarterback in the league type of thing. Like,
if you're picking apart Sam Darnold right now, you're a hater. I mean, there's no more. And like,
well, and that's the thing. I loved what he did yesterday, man. Like, we saw, like, in these playoffs, he outgunned Matthew Stafford, who was the league MVP, because it was required. And yesterday he had to look after the football. And he had a running game that was going, and he had a defense that was going. And the only way they probably blow that thing is if Sam Darnold does something ridiculous, and he just didn't last night. Like, I thought he was he was 50% completion, but I thought he did exactly what you needed them to do last night.
0 turnovers
Bingo.
In the playoffs.
Bingo. The whole team, the whole way. Never been done by a Super Bowl champion. Not a single turnover by the Seahawks on their run to a Super Bowl, which is very impressive as well.
They executed so well. And like for Sam, he didn't have to do. Now, I got a text from somebody that was referring to Darnold as Trent Dilfer. That's insane. Like, that is so disrespectful to him, like with what he did over the course of these playoffs. And I mean, the two signature games of this entire season for Seattle, and I think big picture for the NFL based on what happened, was the NFC Championship game and that Thursday night game between the Rams and Seahawks that they won 38-37 in overtime.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I remember us talking the day after that show and said that could be the most significant regular season game of the year. Probably is going to determine home field in the playoffs. We know how important that is. And sure enough, those two teams played again. They played in Seattle, and Darnold was phenomenal. So if the Patriots had been able to do more offensively, the Seattle offense would have been forced to open it up a little bit, take a few more chances. But I mean, overall, this was, I mean, I'm not going to say that he carried his team to victory because it was their defense that did that. But this is not a case of he was just a passenger in the playoffs and they won despite him. He was awesome. And as I said, took care of the football, went through the entire playoffs without turning it over, and a very, very worthy Super Bowl champion. And what a position the Seahawks are in. Like, you mentioned that contract.
Yeah.
Like, dude, $33 million on the quarterback market? That's about half the salary that the top guys are going to be getting with new deals that are being signed.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. They got him locked in here.
$50 million.
Yeah, you're right.
They essentially are getting another Pro Bowl type receiver or player for that money that Jared Goff's getting for the Lions, for instance. So I mean, you can go down the list of guys that that are there that aren't in the mix. So I mean, it was it was a pretty wild season. I do remember us talking. I don't even think I had the Seahawks to make the playoffs at the start of the year, and yet here we are, ticker tape parade. Oh, and by the way, you know that the team's going up for sale today.
I didn't know it was today, but I saw about the ownership in flux.
Basically, the day after the Super Bowl, they're going to get going with selling the team. Like, you want to talk about time?
Okay, why are they selling who are the current owners? Like, are they?
Well, it was Paul Allen who died.
Oh,
so his kids. That's why it was his daughter that went and got the trophy at the end.
Yeah.
But they had said, I mean, when he passed earlier on this year, that they would likely be selling the team. So timing is everything. And I think the value on that team I've seen is like starting at sort of 7 to 8 billion. There's a lot of royalty checks from championship merch that's coming in over the next little while.
Can you imagine selling something for 8 billion? I'd have a private jet purchased, a very cool one immediately. Just so I could fly wherever the hell I wanted all the time. Like, that'd be great. So I looked it up. Sam Darnold makes 33.5 mil, his AAV or whatever you want to call it. Right below him's Baker. Baker's at 33. It's funny because they were together there briefly in Carolina. Yep. And then after that, I mean, that's outside of that, it's a bunch of guys who are washed or young guys who haven't got their next deal yet. Like, the rest of the way up, Geno Smith's at 37.5. Stafford's at 40. I know. Mahomes is at 45. They're talking 70 maybe for his next deal, which could be insane. Kirk Cousins, 45, but he'll be Deshaun Watson, 46. Kyler Murray, 46. Jalen Hurts, 51. Lamar, 52 million. Herbert, 52.5. Purdy, 53 million. Goff, 53 million. Tua, 53 million. Lawrence is at 55. Love's at 55. Josh Allen's at 55. Joe Burrow's at 55. And then the $60 million man, Dak Prescott, at the top of the list. So you've got, like, Sam Darnold's like 22nd in the league in quarterback salary. And you got him for 2 more years. So, and that's going to continue to do. Like, some of those guys will fall below him, but Jaden Daniels, when his contract's up, Caleb Williams, when his contract's up, like, those guys are going to get paid too. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, Seahawks are in a decent spot when it comes to quarterback and the way they've been able to financially manage that.
I mean, they're just financially, they are so set up. First of all, like, there'll be a bunch of guys on that defense that, like, I don't have any, I haven't looked in to see who's got expiring contracts and what. It seems like there's a lot of younger guys, like, they've been drafted that are still under team control. I mean, they will absolutely be able to run it back. Kenneth Walker's a free agent. What a game he had.
Oh, huge game.
But I mean, that's the thing. If they want to keep those guys, they'll be able to pay them with what they've got. So, I mean, full marks to Seattle. That John Schneider, the way he built the team. I mean, really building up from within 2 separate Super Bowl champs. And then there are my pals in Viking land that look at the guy that they let go. They saw their rookie guy struggle, and he goes and wins a Super Bowl the year after. It is nuts. How are the festivities out at the casino?
Party was good, man. Casino was good. You
had the kids out on the blackjack table at halftime?
Yeah, I told Marshall and Elizabeth, I said, listen, you guys can't come into the bar here, but you can stay in the casino. You can stay in here. You can hit these. You can hit the slots, and Daddy will pick you up just before 11 o'clock, and we'll get home. No, it was good. I mean, pretty much every table was jam packed. I thought it was. I think there was one table that somebody no-showed for, but then somebody else sort of just slid in there. It was a good time. I left. I was being very mature about things. Eric had the day off, so he was still there when I left. I got out of there at about 10 to 11. I know somebody texted in and said Big Uke went nonverbal around 1 a.m. Just totally unable to communicate. He was in it pretty good. I can't believe he even made it to 1 a.m., to be honest with you. When I left at 11, he was already well on his way. And then I slept at the office here. I slept on my couch last night. So I came back, did a little bit of prep, crashed on the couch, got up, did the show with Dave Jameson today. So all in all, rather probably one of the most tame Super Bowl mornings after I've had in a long time, which I was pretty happy about. How
was Dave?
Oh, Dave was great. I mean, he's as steady as they go. So JMO was terrific. Some big cheers last night. We did well. We had Bad Bunny with no hat at the halftime show at plus 400. So that was a good cash. Hat. We were on that any attempted 2-point conversion, had that boosted up to plus 152. So when they attempted that 2-point conversion, big cheer as well. There was 2 moments. I mean, I guess we can talk about, like, what was your biggest letdown from a betting perspective yesterday? The whole JSN game killed me. I mean, if I would have got a JSN touchdown, I probably would have cashed 3 or 4 more parlays. So that sucked. And then the other one that really hurt, I had the old Sammy Darts with the touchdown in the 4th quarter, Seahawks win, and 100 yards. And he was at about 20 to 30 yards passing, and he took the deep shot to Shaheed. And when he took the deep shot to Shaheed, I stood up. I was like, holy shit, it's going to hit. We're going to cash this thing. That would have been $2,500. And he he missed him by about a foot. But that one was, that one would have been it. That one hurt. That was my biggest bad burn of the day. I thought he had him.
I had the Shaheed over, which did cash.
Yeah.
But I was also in on a couple pools. We needed this, like, a big Shaheed touchdown would have been massive for a lot of people. And then they took 2 shots at him.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, Gonzalez made that play in the 1st quarter that could have broken that game all over. Beautiful play by him. and then they did it again in the third. Yeah, I'm just looking down. I mean, a couple of my last minute ads weren't particularly good. Couldn't even get the coin toss. Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson did not attend the game together, as far as I know. But did you see what she pulled on Saturday?
Yeah, was she not wearing the shirt of Robert Kraft's massage place?
The Orchids of Asia shirt, courtside at the UNC basketball game with Bill. So
that's where that was. I didn't know that was at the UNC Duke game. That's a big one.
Yeah, exactly. So the ball's on her just to I mean, and that I didn't even find that out from a text or from Twitter. I saw that on TMZ. So there's that's a certain level of celebrity feud, I guess, between Bill and Robert Kraft that is not too good. Bottom line is I had a couple big, I got in at Seattle at -3.5, and then I doubled down on it when it went from 4.5 to 4 last week. So big picture, that's what I needed to have happen. What was our, I think my final prediction score was 30-16.
It was 30-16.
29-13.
Yeah.
So I did have 6-1 on Seattle to win by 13-18. Which was
I had a Seattle ticket 8-14. So they won by too much for me.
My number one player prop was Cooper Kupp over. That one came through. I think my favorite winning ticket plus 160 on no player or coach to cry during the national anthem on the NBC broadcast. We don't have any preening Nick Sirianni's in the game this year. So that was a no. So yeah, overall a pretty nice. Oh, and then the other one, I think this was the first one that I had put out when I got back last week. The New England punt to happen first before they scored.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You could have doubled down on that about 6 times with the punt. But when I got that one on the Wednesday, it was -123. That one went all the way to -169 by the time the game game got in. So I think a lot of people were jumping on that as we went through, and then obviously starting it off with Goddard. So it was a great way to finish up the season. But I will say, I always have a way to make it about the Chiefs.
Oh, my God, here we go.
We missed Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs this playoffs. I mean, the AFC just wasn't, you got to beware what you wish for, folks. I mean, the AFC playoffs probably as underwhelming as any we've ever seen.
I mean, as any that I can remember. I might have to dig it back up and maybe something will spark a memory, but it was a pretty blah playoffs in the AFC. And then we got the Seahawks-Rams game in the NFC, which was basically the highlight of the playoffs. Huss, I'm just taking peeks around. Some books have Super Bowl odds up already. Play Alberta doesn't have them, but I was looking kind of snooping around some other places here just to see where they might be settling in, or at least I didn't see them at PA. Maybe they're somewhere else in there. Seahawks, obviously, the favorite here. Plus 750. The Rams at 8-1. I asked Mike Tenier this morning. I was like, who's your early thought about next year? And he mentioned the Rams have 2 first-round picks and like $75 million in cap space. So, I mean, that's a team that could be even better than they were this year, and they were pretty darn good this year. And then it's interesting. Ravens 12-1, Bills 12-1, Packers 14-1, Lions 14-1, Eagles and Chiefs and Chargers at 15-1, and then the Niners at 16-1. New England's at 17. Denver, who had a nice regular season, then lost Bo Nix, is at 18. And then the Texans and Jags are 18 and 20. The Bears are 25. Burrow and the Bengals 28. Cowboys 35. Is there a thought here, Huss? A year out before free agent. This is like me doing mock drafts while the playoffs are still going for next year's fantasy football. But I mean, what do you think of the numbers? There was something out there. I know you're going to say, well, I don't mind the Chiefs at 15, but what else you got?
That's the biggest number on a Kansas City team.
How many years?
Since 2019. I mean, like outside of a midseason bet when Mahomes was out or whatever.
Yeah.
Basically done. I mean, the start of the year, this year they were 6-1 or plus 650. So listen, I mean, I've bias, but my eyes grew large when I saw that. I'm interested that Seattle and the Rams are so close, but then now that I think about it, maybe we shouldn't be. They played those incredibly tight games, and do we not think that the result would have been exactly the same thing if it was the Rams against the Patriots yesterday? I do.
Yeah. I mean, part of me thinks Rams offense might do a little bit more damage than what we saw from the Seahawks through the first three quarters. So I think it's probably, they should be close. I mean, the Seahawks are defending champs, a little bit of an edge there. But it's interesting with like the Ravens at 12-1. I guess with some of these coaching changes,
why the Ravens and the Bills are lower than the Chiefs? I don't get it. I'm not sure. Happy. Speaking of which, I don't know if you know many Bills fans. You probably do. There were probably some at the game last night.
Well, Lieutenant Eric's the biggest Bills fan as I know.
That had to be tough to watch. Knowing, like just watching what had happened, having New England of all teams get there, knowing how close you were to beating Denver, having that opportunity to move on would have been great. I mean, like, I certainly think the Bills would have made for a much more exciting, competitive game. Like, I don't think they would have won, but I think it would have just been an entirely different scenario in the game. So anyways, that's tough. That's a tough one for the Bills. You know who I find it's weird that we didn't mention, that we haven't talked about yet, is the Bears.
Yeah, 25-1 right now. Like the Bears to be at 25-1 and the Lions, and look, the Lions are my guys. But for the Bears to be at 25-1 and the Lions at 14-1, that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
No. Where are the Jags?
20.
Jag.
20-1.
20? Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
It's probably about right. I think I'd have them. Well, I mean, they're just behind the Texans. Texans has a great D, but CJ Stroud seems to be regressing. So I don't know. They're probably in that right range. I'm sure Denver fans feel a little bit slighted being at 18. But these lines will obviously change. We got free agency coming up in the draft, and that's going to alter quite a few things, but I just want to kind of throw those out there today.
Like, let's look at some of the longer.
Oh, yeah. Where is Minnesota on this list? Minnesota's at 60.
Whoa.
Yeah. The Bucks are at 40. The Colts, who had that great start, they're at 60. Commanders, Daniels was hurt most of the year. They're pretty good 2 years ago. They're at 60. And then, I mean, I don't know if there's anybody else further down this list that you really would look at.
Oh, if you're a Viking fan, 60-1 right now. Like, I think that number would get significantly lower. Like, by the time they kick off next year, I would think that number is going to be 30, 35.
I was going to say, I bet you probably somewhere between 35 and 40.
And depending on what they do at the quarterback position, like, you know, I mean, I assume that JJ McCarthy is going to have the opportunity to go and, I mean, you know, start.
Look, it's not like there's a dozen veterans out there that teams want to bring in. Like, there's like the quarterback position in the National Football League is relatively weak for the 32 teams, right? So, yeah, he'll get the first crack at it for sure. And then we'll see what happens. What'd you think of halftime, Huss? Now, did you end up you were at the old stomping grounds there?
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's tough to watch halftime when you're out at a pub. You know, like.
Well, I mean, whatever. Everyone cranked it up. Like, the sound was up. Yeah. Everyone was paying attention to it. I mean.
Okay, as long as you I was only partially paying attention. So. I rewatched it this morning. There's a lot going on.
Well, there's a lot going on. It was in freaking Spanish. No one knew what the hell he was saying. So, I mean, I don't know. He looked like he had some charisma as a performer.
For all we know, he was swearing at us the entire time. And I had no idea. Like,
yeah, he could have been the entire thing could have been on how brutal the Patriots offense was in the first half. We don't know. We'll never know. I mean, as I say, I honestly could care less about halftime in general.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. You know, everyone has these Super Bowl parties. There's a bunch of people that don't normally watch that are coming in and they're all fired up for the commercials and the halftime. That's not me. So I didn't care. I mean, I thought the manufactured outrage around it was kind of nonsense. But when it comes down to it, I know everyone wants to make things political. Here's why they did it, folks. This guy's the most streamed artist in the world. I think in this last year took over Taylor Swift. They've expanded to 9 international games this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to Brazil. They're going to these places. That community is massive. And at the end of it, the over-under for how many people watched halftime was 135.5 million, and it smashed it. So, I mean, as I say, like I know there was wasn't Kid Rock going to do his own halftime? I think that got canceled because people pulled out or whatever.
No, they did it. They did it on YouTube, man. It was on there last night. Yeah, I saw it was about 4.8 million. I think it's at 18 million views. But yeah, it was on YouTube last night.
I might have to check it out just to see what the heck they were doing.
Well, I checked it out last night when I got back here. I was like, oh, I wonder how that went. And I brought it up, and I thought I saw Kid Rock came out and did Ba Wada Ba at the end, and then did one other song on guitar, and that was it. And then there's some other musicians in there, I think. And that was about it.
Yeah. I will say this. So much of this stuff gets hyper political, and I think a lot of people just take advantage of the opportunity to make it that. I'm actually a Kid Rock fan. The guy plays an amazing show.
I said that this morning. I said it's one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
Yeah. If you ask me, hey, Huss, they're doing a show tonight. You can either have Bad Bunny or Kid Rock go. Yeah. I mean, I would probably do Kid Rock. Now, I'd probably be in the minority today in the world based on what we've seen. But again, bottom line is we waited to see who's the first song, which obviously no one knew. Found out it was not the one that we bet on. The chalky one, Ti Amo, whatever, was the first song.
That's where it hit, yeah.
And then, watch some of it. And then I think most people, usual half times, maybe go rip a heater or two and, check out the lines for the second half. And then let's get back on with the game. So, as I say, I kind of laughed at the people that made such a big deal about it.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was sort of nonsense. But at the same point, I don't know of anyone in North America that is not a Spanish-speaking person that'll be going, well, when you're talking Super Bowl halftimes, you got to talk about Bad Bunny in 2026.
Good point.
I think it's just going to be, just going to be one of those ones that was whatever.
In classic fashion on Friday, you did say minus 169 is a good line on God. Kenneth Walker, thank God first, then his teammates, and also shouted out the 12s. But Kenneth Walker did initially thank God. So the chalky God bet cashes if you were on it.
I mean, minus 169, as I said, that was as good of a line on God as you'll find anywhere. It was minus 300 in most markets. And I think that's because Darnold and Drake May seemingly are men of faith. So everyone assumed, those are the chalky plays. And listen, we talked about it. If it wasn't going to be a quarterback, who would it be? I kind of regretted not taking my own advice and jumping on Kenneth Walker at 7-1.
Yeah.
They didn't have to play if their defense dominates this game and they run the football, quarterback's not going to have to do a lot. That was exactly what happened. And he was the offense for that team.
He was only the 5th offensive player to win Super Bowl MVP without running or throwing a touchdown pass. It does not happen very often. Wes Welker.
Is he the last running back to win?
Who was the last running back to win? It was 30 years ago, wasn't
it? Darrell Davis in 98.
Oh my God.
It's a long time.
That's a long time. Yeah. Anyway, how would you summarize the NFL season overall, Huss? It kind of felt like something was off this year. in the end. Like, it just,
I agree,
it was,
Dusty.
right?
I agree. Something was
obviously
off.
for the Chiefs, but like overall in the league this year, it was, I don't know. It just, there was a few good games, like some great games along the way, but then injuries to certain guys kind of killed things. And the teams that have been like elite for a long time sort of fell off. And I don't know. It's kind of,
it was AFC Bizarro world.
yeah, it was kind of like a perfect finish for a forgettable season, really.
Burrow getting hurt in the first 2 weeks. So that was the Bengals. Ravens had that terrible start. Chiefs falling off and then, just continuing. Now, last year, I mean, I know they won all those one-score games, and it's sort of, I liken it to the Jets. Like last year, they had all this incredible fortune. They created some good luck, but they won every single close game and then sort of got the other side of the coin this year. And, when you think about the other teams, like Indy was a great story at the start of the year. They petered out. It was supposed to be the Bills and Josh Allen's year. Like that to me is the biggest thing. The number one story is the missed opportunity for Buffalo. I mean, Josh Allen
kind of cleared. Yeah.
Pathetic figure, one of the great players in the league, but he keeps on getting busted by Mahomes in the playoffs. And you've got other great quarterbacks in Burrow and Lamar. None of them were there. And you know what? They ended up losing that overtime game where he had a really rough game. And I think had the 4 turnovers. Like it was there for the Bills. So I think maybe one of the biggest stories and missed opportunities. But again, the redemption of Sam Darnold. I mean, Sam Darnold's path to the top of the mountain is one of the most unique career arcs in not just NFL history, but I would say North American pro sports history. I mean, super high pick, bust, bounces around a couple teams, doesn't play much, gets an opportunity, makes the most of it, and then is let go and walks onto another team and wins the whole thing. And by the way, you know who's this does not look good on is our friend Geno Smith, who, as you mentioned, is making $4.5 million more than Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
You can believe that. Geno gets traded from the Seahawks to the Raiders. The Seahawks sign a free agent for less money than Geno's making. They win the Super Bowl, and the team that acquired Geno finishes dead last, and they have the first overall pick in the NFL draft.
It was, that's a tough look. It was like, that really sucks for his career stock. Somebody asked, I think it was Taka who texted in this morning and asked JMO and I, if Geno Smith is still the quarterback of the Seahawks, do they win the Super Bowl because it was around a great defense and a pretty good running game? And I said, Geno, first of all, Geno doesn't outgun Matt Stafford. And they're probably not where they are through the regular season with Geno Smith either. So I mean, if they don't get Sam Darnold, they're not Super Bowl champions. As good as everything else was, if they don't get Sam Darnold, they're not Super Bowl champions. Like I don't think that's a stretch at all. Okay, anything else in the NFL? We can talk some Olympic hockey here, but anything else on the NFL?
We now move on to the draft.
Yeah.
Mendoza seems like he's minus $1 million.
Not a lot of tension at the top. I mean, it'll be Mendoza. I think, what is he, like minus 10,000 or something like that? Like, yeah.
It'd be pretty tough to not pick that guy number one, considering where the Raiders are and what we've got. But it won't be long before we're getting into free agency. We've got the draft. You know, the NFL machine
takes around the clock, keeps going.
So
yeah, but how close? What are we? What's it? March, April, May. We're 3 months away from betting CFL Week 1. 3.5 months away. So we've got that. We got 3.5 months until we're into it. And Andrew, the accountant, texts in here on the text line, 780-218-9999, says, this is my first year following the CFL and watching the NFL playoffs. The CFL was so entertaining almost every single game. The NFL players are mostly a snooze fest, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, we've seen better playoff years in the National Football League for sure. I mean, this was one of the least memorable playoffs that you'll remember in a long time.
You've all been spoiled with the Chiefs going to the big game for 5 years in a row, people. Sometimes you don't have.
You know what? I'll say this. I would have rather last week had you spouting off about the Chiefs for 3 days leading up to the big game than having to dive into the Patriots and Seahawks, you know? That would be fine. All right, Huss. Hey, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you did mention CFL.
Yeah.
And CFL futures are up. Have you seen these?
I haven't looked at them in the last couple of weeks.
Guess. I'm interested for you to guess these lines. CFL futures, who do you think the favorite is?
I mean, it's the Alouettes or the Riders. I probably should be the Riders.
It's not. It's Montreal.
So it's the Alouettes. Okay. All right.
The Alouettes.
Is it close?
No. Alouettes plus 275. And there's another team before the Riders.
What? Okay. BC.
Yeah.
Nathan Rourke.
BC 450. Riders 6-1.
That's a good number on the Riders.
I don't get this with their offseason and everything, but the Argos plus 625.
Yeah, that one doesn't make. What is that? Like a healthy Chad Kelly number? Like I don't.
Guess.
I mean,
New
that
coach. No Dinwiddie.
Yeah, I would not have the Argos fourth on that list.
Now, who do you think the next team is? Plus 725.
Bombers.
Calgary.
Really? Man, I didn't think they had a great free agency so far.
And the Bombers plus 850. Ticats 950. Ottawa 1150.
What's the Edmonton number?
1650.
Okay. That's closer. Like I think last year the Elks were like 3,000 or something. Like I feel like this field's a little bit closer than I could be wrong. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah. I think they were like 20, but they were like last on the board.
think it's a little tighter. I think it's a little tighter this year.
And not that I want to relive this because it was the expense of my beloved Bombers, but was it 2 years ago? Cody Fajardo was the quarterback on the team that had the longest odds of anybody at the beginning. They were 19-1. The Alouettes were at the beginning of the season, and they ended up doing it. So I don't know the value on Edmonton.
There's no MVP odds up, yay?
For CFL?
Yeah, for CFL. What would you say the number on Rourke is to start the season?
For MVP?
Yeah.
Like minus 150.
I was going to say we're looking at a minus number, right?
Well, I was going to say plus, but short, like
plus 125,
even
plus 150,
money, plus 150.
Yeah.
I mean, if he gets hurt, obviously that would be an issue. Although we missed a couple games last year.
Yeah, it still was
still wild that number went as high as it did. 11-1 mid-season. We got him. That was one of my favorite bets of the entire year.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, try to find that value throughout the year.
It's a long wait before the hockey. The long wait
before the Olympic hockey gets going.
Yeah,
I know. Got a few more days. I was looking at the. I'm seeing Canada. Just looking at the men's. The women play today, but there's such like a massive favorite here. But I was looking at the men's outrights, and Canada is a minus 106 favorite. U.S. plus 185, Sweden plus 685, Finland plus 980, and then it drops way off down below like 23 and 24 for Czechia.
To win the whole thing?
And
to win the gold?
To win the whole thing, yeah.
Oh, fuck. I got a good number. I got Canada plus 120.
Oh, that's good. And when'd you get that? When'd you lock that in?
I locked that in like mid last week.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good then. Gotta like
Mid
that.
last week, it's popped down a little bit, but I mean, this is Canada. I also did like a Seahawks Canada parlay.
Smart move.
I've got Canada in on a few things. Just basically Canada and the TGL tonight. Just trying to parlay it with things to get a nicer number and have a bunch of live bullets when we get going.
We got like some team Sweden team leading goal scorer props and stuff for this event. Nathan McKinnon to lead Canada in goals plus 200. Connors plus 275. Reinhardt's 8-1. Celebrini's 8-1. Stone's 10-1. Sid's 10-1. Oh, hey, that's what I wanted to. What was the reaction like when in Winnipeg when Jarvis got that final spot? Was there a big Scheifele cry? Like we were here in Edmonton, we're like, why wouldn't you take Hyman and put him with McDavid? But what are you guys saying?
Well, we were choked that it wasn't Scheifele.
Yeah.
But then if it wasn't going to be Scheifele, I think people were pretty good with Jarvis. Like, listen, as an extra, as a guy that's going to be going into the lineup playing, I don't know, Zach can kill penalties too. So, I mean, I guess he would be, it just seemed like Jarvis was like a more versatile player that they could pop in a few different places if they do
slide around a bit.
Like it looks like him and Bennett are the extras anyways, at least to start. No, I'm sure they'll get a game against France or something like that. But we went. I got to tell you, what did you say it was 8-1 on Macklin Celebrini to be the top goal scorer for Canada?
For Canada, yes.
I mean, I am so pumped for this line, and I did call that. I don't know whether it was WST or with you last week when we were looking ahead, but my little notion that Big Tommy Wilson might be riding shotgun with Connor McDavid came to fruition. How about that line, Wilson? 97.
It's an exciting line, right? Aren't you excited to see those guys play?
Dude, I'm pumped. And listen, I think Celebrini, I think Celebrini's very live on some of these. Like the fact that he's going to be playing with Connor.
Well, let me throw this by you. So you can take Celebrini at 8-1 to lead Canada in goals. Mm-hmm. But if he leads Canada in goals, why not just take him at 20-1 to lead the tournament in goals?
For sure.
Right?
Like I would do both.
Yeah. But it's like twice as big as number. And if he's going to lead Canada, there's a really good chance that he's probably not automatic, but like there's a pretty good chance there. You never know if there's like a guy on France who plays Switzerland a couple times and buries 4 goals or something like.
Yeah, Rantanen gets 5 goals against France or something like that. I mean, there's always some outliers, but just strictly for Team Canada, I love that. And by the same token, yeah, you're right. I mean, if you like Mac at 7 or 8-1 to lead Canada in goals, you'd be very smart to throw a little bit on him at 20-1 to lead the tournament.
Also, just because you brought up Rantanen's name, I mean, make a good case. I mean, 25-1 for him to lead the tournament in goals, and he's going to be, heavy duty involved for Finland all the time, play a ton, and they'll be a little bit more top heavy than a Canadian roster, I would think.
Have you seen the games? Like that's the one thing. The USA plays nobody in their. I think they go Latvia, Denmark, Germany. Like that's their 3 preliminary.
Yeah, because Canada goes Czechia, Switzerland, which are both better than the 3 teams that US is playing. Yeah. And then France, right? That's France, yeah. France. So I think Canada's probably in a better position to have played. The one thing I really need to dive into is just how the quarters work. I think the top teams move on, and then there's a play-in game amongst the other teams. Yeah, I saw that as well. I was looking at the schedule today, and there's like the first round, and then there's a qualifying round, which I think is for the bottom part of the teams. And then you get into the quarterfinal, semifinal. So Canada will play 6 games here, is what we're looking at, right? So the all-time record for points in an Olympics that included NHL players, Teemu Selanne Saku Koivu, 11 points in 2006. Feel like McDavid or Celebrini or McKinnon could maybe take a run of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. And listen, to be honest, with the talent on some of those other teams, like what if US romps the first 3 games and puts up 7 or 8 goals a game?
With that competition, yeah. Well, that makes sense.
And you could have guys going into the medal round that are sitting at 8 or 9 points, depending on what happens there. So I'm going to focus in on the individual team spots, but for the tournament, hard not to look and
with that weaker prelim round. Don't hate Tage Thompson to lead the tournament in goals either. It's 60-1. I mean, that guy can snipe. You mentioned the competition that they had. Like Austin Matthews is 25-1. The Tkachuk brothers are 30-1. Tage Thompson, who's a phenomenal goal scorer, sitting at 60-1. First taste of it for him, though.
We got to lock in. We'll lock in some official picks tomorrow.
All right, what's coming up in WST, buddy?
Well, recap of the Super Bowl. We'll check in. Is CFL free agency officially open now?
Tampering window started two Sundays ago. So, yeah, it should be. I'm pretty sure it's today. I'm almost certain it's today.
So
it might be the 10th. Might be the 10th.
Okay, so that's when everything's going to start.
Yeah, it's the 10th at noon. It's 10 o'clock our time, 11 o'clock your time tomorrow. That's when it starts.
Yeah, so we'll look ahead to that. Derek Taylor's going to pop by, get his take on the Super Bowl. Josh Frey-Sam as well. And then Remus Connor and I are going to dive into a whole bunch of Olympic stuff once we get finished talking about wrapping the NFL season.
Good stuff, buddy. We will chat with you tomorrow. Good job on the Goddard. That's a nice hit early in the golf season.
Yeah,
that's a big one. That's a big one.
Great start. Great start for the lock shop.
All right, see you later, man. There you go. That's us from Winnipeg Sports Talk. WST is going to be coming up in about 4 minutes over on the Winnipeg Sports Talk channel. We've got the oil stream coming up next. Coaching rumors? Not really, but we'll pretend there are. So we'll get into that. Thank you very much for joining us in the lock shop today. Best of luck if you're going to dabble in some Olympic or some NBA as well. I mean, the Den's always all over random Div 3 soccer in the middle of the night. So ride with those guys. They'll keep you busy. And Tommy and I coming up in the oil stream next. Take it easy.